I should start this show by myself. I should. I really should. Why? Because, my co host has yet again, you know, the bed sheets that got the best of him. You would think that we've been doing this for a couple of weeks now that he would get up on time. No, 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 no. This is not happening. But I'm going to bring him on anyways. Welcome, everybody, to Breakfast Steaks. My name is Ed, also known as the Deadhead. And with me is the mayor.
Morning.
How you doing, buddy?
I've been up for 25 minutes
I
and
wouldn't know.
I I came in here and my link would not work again. I'm not sure what's going on with me trying to save this link, but killing me. Killing me. I don't know. I got to work on that today after I get done with this show here. See if we can get my
Okay.
save link because I went to the one on my desktop. It's not working. I'm trying to go back to the email you sent to me before. But
You're you're all sorts of messed up today, aren't you?
and I got up early. Like I had to. I'll admit, last few weeks, it's like I wake up about 10, 15 minutes before the show, run in here. No, I got up, went down, got my coffee going, um, wrote some notes, got up here like 10 minutes ago, thinking I was okay. And then when you texted me, I was sitting right here getting ready to get on, and I couldn't get the darn link to work.
It's okay. Well, that's all right. Not a big deal. It goes. Well. Look who showed up at early in the morning, though. Look at him. Good morning, Mr. Patrick Larson. I hope everyone's doing well. Make sure you guys follow him on all of the socials. MILB Head Club, Head History. Sorry, I wanted to say Head Club. He should start a club,
I
right?
know exactly.
But welcome everybody to Breakfast Takes, where we talk about anything and everything that has to do with Carolina sports. I say Carolina because it is South and, of course, the best state, North Carolina sports. And we will talk about some college. We will talk about a little bit of hockey and then some NFL because we have some cool NFL things to go over with. Because why? You know, Carolina Panthers. They came up from the grassroots defeat, and they finally were able to do that. What's going on, Mister Terry? Look
Man,
at
it is
you,
early. Terry.
Terry is. It's super early. Some cocky football. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How about that game? That was an interesting game, right? They had the win, and then they didn't.
Yep. They snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
They sure did. It was interesting. That was an interesting game. Also, um, the when it comes to there was a situation that came out that happened. It was weird situation with a state trooper there. So we'll talk about that as well. Like I don't understand that. Like what was the whole meaning behind that, right?
That guy chose violence.
He sure did. He woke up and chose violence. He's like, nope, I don't need no Gamecocks in here. And it was weird. It was like, what's the point? Like you're a grown adult. Like you're trying to push off these kids who are playing football. It has nothing to do with you,
Yeah,
right? You're just there to maintain the peace.
you let your fandom take over because your team was down at the time, and you're like, I'm gonna flex on them, and then I'm gonna yell at them for hitting me. It's like you instigated it, buddy. That's one thing people forget how many cameras there are. He had no idea that anybody would see that. It's in the tunnel. He's like, oh, I'm walking back up here in the tunnel. Nobody's gonna see it. It's going to look like they ran into me. I turned around and yelled, and he had zero idea that there was a camera waiting for those players to come back out the tunnel because the player looked like he had pulled up a hamstring injury when that happened. So
It was definitely interesting, my friend. It was definitely interesting. So, well, and then he lost the job. Now he can't volunteer and be part of that, right? Which was like, dude, you just lost your job, bro.
that was swift justice there. I mean, the game was barely even over, and A&M was already announcing that he will no longer have game day duties there. I mean, he's not losing his job as an officer, which maybe he will. Maybe he'll be on desk duty for a while when his bosses get that.
Maybe I should mute my mic, huh?
I,
If I wanted to talk. But maybe he will keep his. Obviously, I think he'll keep his job as a state trooper or whatever he was. But I think at the same time, it's like, brother, like you just lost your job as a a volunteer, right? Because and to go in the game. Like, I mean, come on, bro,
Yeah.
really?
And I don't know if those guys, I'm sure those guys possibly, I don't know if they make extra money working the games inside the stadium like that, if it's extra pocket money for them or what. But
Yeah,
regardless, he probably just always enjoyed the privilege of being in there and probably seeing the game for free, especially because he's obviously an A&M fan, or he wouldn't have bowed up on them like that.
yeah. So, but anyways, listen, A&M still won. Okay, they still were able to pull the win out of there. Uh, Barely, but they still pull the win. So good on them to actually go ahead and pull that win. I was actually looking at it this morning because, like, as you guys know, um, I get up at 4:30, so I was looking at the scores and I was looking at all these other stuff. And Terry says he may face a suspension at least. That escalation attitude is a no these days for sure. Yeah, like, I mean, it, he instigated that whole thing, right? I mean, there was no need for him to go ahead and instigate that at all. Like, there was no reason whatsoever. Like, he walked into that tunnel and was like, why do I need to, like, why am I pushing? And then, because it's clear as day that he pushed off on these two kids.
Oh yeah, he threw his elbows. So,
Right.
yeah.
And so, hey man, your mic came out good now. All of a sudden you scared the
Sorry,
hell out of me.
I actually had the mic turned off. I was rearranging this weekend. I actually adjusted
Oh,
my desks.
did you now?
I had two desks here, and I got tired of the screen sitting so high,
Mhm.
and so I went back to the original desk that I had. It used to be a little creaky, and I kind of got it straight, but
Mhm.
the arm for my microphone, the way this desk is built, the clamp, there's nothing for it to clamp onto because there's no
Ah.
opening big enough for on the edges.
Yeah.
So I had to drill a hole and readjust it. So I cut the mic itself off while I was handling it. And I didn't even think it. So I guess I've been speaking through the microphone of the camera or something. And I mean, obviously you could
Welcome
hear
to
me, but
It
I
did.
guess it wasn't coming through very clear. So
Well,
hopefully now,
I think that's the whole thing. It's like, I was like, hold on a second. That's why I switched to my other set. Like, I always listen, guys. Anybody who wants to do any kind of, like, live streaming or podcasting or anything, always make sure that you have some kind of headphones extra
yeah.
just in case. I also have my other microphone here, as an emergency backup because you never know, right? And so I was like, is it my speaker? I was like, so I was like, hey, check your mic. I'm sending him a message on the side. I was like, check your mic, dude.
I was like,
You
why
know,
are you texting me? I looked down. I'm like, I'm trying to check this thing here. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So, sorry about that, guys. I just forgot to hit
we
the
are
on switch here.
professionals.
So yeah, exactly. So
We are professionals around here. You know what's funny? Because, like, I have my setup right now for this for the way that I have it right now, but I'm gonna be switching it up a little bit more because my wife was like, you don't want to have the window behind you because, like, watch, as soon as daylight comes, you're gonna start seeing this come clear.
yeah.
So I was told, suggested by the CFO to make some changes. So I did order a longer Ethernet cable. That was the whole thing. I need
Okay.
a long Ethernet cable. It's like I need about a 50-foot, right, to go around. So it'll be switching again at the
Be
request of.
messing Eric up again.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not telling him either.
Okay,
Uh,
exactly. Just wait.
I'm just gonna wait a sec, and no doubt he was getting paid to watch work. Cush job lost it, idiot.
Very
100%.
much.
Again, come on now, man. In today's environment, you can't be doing things like that. You just can't.
You can't. Absolutely cannot. And look at Phil. Good morning, Phil. Getting up early to exercise before
Come
school.
on, man. Look at you. Congratulations on the exercising. I don't exercise on Mondays anymore. I'm here. I'm here with you.
That's
I am
right.
here with you. What hat are you wearing? I've been trying to figure out what the hat that you're
So
wearing.
this is the one I had mentioned a few weeks back that I was going to break out at some point. This is a Greasy Keys checkers hat.
Nice.
So it's it's got
Oh, the hollow hockey puck and
yeah,
then
I got the
those
hockey puck
sticks.
and the keyboard sticks there. So trucker, black mesh, red front, with the
Okay.
Greasy Keys on the hockey puck there. So I figured I'd break it out for the show today. That along with a Panther
Yeah.
shirt.
Hey, listen. Well, and I mean, I want to finish
We'll
with
get
the
to this.
Panthers
Yeah.
because, yeah, The Panthers got me interesting, but like let's continue down as far as uh some football. And I'm gonna let you take over on this one because this was your team. This is your alma mater.
Right.
And I know you made some notes on this one. Unfortunately wasn't able to watch all of it because I was actually on Saturday. If you didn't know this, I was playing Sandlot baseball. And your boy, the team name is Broken Bat Baseball Club, right? Guess who broke a bat?
Oh no, you didn't break the new one that you bought
No,
after
no.
you broke the first one?
This is the second one that
The
I've broken
second.
already. Yeah. So
Okay.
thankfully, the good thing is that I bought two bats this time, right? Like, when I bought this one, I
Okay.
bought two bats. I was like, oh, I may return this. So I'm like, you know what? Let me keep it just in case because you never know. Thank God
Hey.
I didn't.
With wooden bats, that's what's gonna happen, especially when you hit for power like you do. So
I do not hit for power. Ed does not hit for power. Ed is not at that point anymore, right? He's trying to bulk up now, but I do not hit for power. But thankfully, I had it. Thank God I did because I was like, "Where's my bat? Why is it sitting on the outside of the bench?" And I'm like, when I go grab it, I'm like, "Oh, that's why." I was like, "This thing is cracked." I was like, one of my team members was like, "Yeah, I put it out there because it's cracked." I'm like, "All right, cool." No, I think it was either me or someone else. No one knows exactly when it happened, so I'm gonna take
right,
full responsibility for that one because it's my bad. So
right.
we lost it. Ed Riley,
Is
hitting
Riley
moonshots. No, hitting moonshots into the second baseman. And so I did it. I went 0 for 1 with 2 walks. All right, so check this out. This is what happened to me. I'm such an idiot. So the one of my teammates, he was like, "Hey, let's do a hit and run." I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm ready." I was like, "Cause I actually worked the count to was able to get it to a 3-2 count, and then that first was like there was a little too low, so I was like, "All right," so I walk. All right, cool, cool, cool. So I'm at first base. I'm like, "All right, so hit and run." So as soon as he throws it, I'm going. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying? Because that's a hit and run,
yep.
right? But here's what happened. My teammate who suggested let's do a hit and run, guess what he didn't do?
He didn't do the hit part?
He didn't do the swinging or anything.
Nothing.
And I got caught in dead man's, like right there, right in the middle. And I tried to slide, but Ed forgot how to slide. And
Oh,
Ed slid first, and then he landed on his ass, both ass cheeks, mostly on his left one. So his left one is sore. But I was already caught. I was dead in the water. I was like, come on. So I got and I got to him later on. He gets a hit. The next swing,
right.
the next at bat, I'm like, so I yelled for my bench. I was like, oh, now you want to hit. And so he comes and he was like, I absolutely suggested it, and then I forgot. I'm like, come on, bro.
It's funny because a lot of people, when I played high school ball and stuff, they called it run and hit because nobody ever hit first. You always run first.
Hmm.
And they're like, "Why is it called the hit and run?" And we always would say,
It just
"Let's run
sounds
and
better
hit."
than it
I know
just sounds
it
better
does.
than run and hit.
Exactly.
So, Ed participated in hit and run and failed. So,
Well, at least you're living up to the team name you chose, so that's good. I mean, you got to break a bat here every once in a while if you're going to be the Broken Bat Club. So
you know what? That's what it was, dude. Again, we're just having fun. So only 3 stolen bases on the day. There was no stolen bases. No, 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 no. My wife then later on, because Darla goes, because early in the morning, and my daughter goes, "Daddy, I want to go. I want to go." I was like, "All right, are you sure? Because if we're gonna go, we got to go soon, right?" Because I had to leave because it was like a 45 minutes away. So it was in Chapel Hill.
right, okay,
So, but she went, and then my wife goes later on. Because I went to go see her. She was sitting on the little chair under the shade with our dog because our dog decided to go too. She goes like, "Honey, you can't steal. You can't. Don't do that again." I'm like, I wasn't. It wasn't supposed to be a steal. I'm not a person that steals. I'm slow. I already know this. You know, it's supposed to be a hit and run. I'm like, yeah, don't do that again. I was like, thanks, babe. Appreciate you.
exactly.
Oh my god.
Nice support.
I know, right? It was nice support. So there. But yeah, so I did not. That was just a long story roundabout saying I was unable to watch the Clemson Louisville game. I had Louisville, so I do apologize to you. I had Louisville winning that game, and Clemson was like, "Hold my beer," because now they're at 500.
Right. Um, so two games that were 1-point games that were totally different outcomes and totally different storylines after these games. Like we spoke about the South Carolina A&M game, 1-point game, Gamecocks. Yeah, if you didn't watch that game, you're like, oh man, look at that. A&M, just barely beat them 31-30. That good for those Gamecocks. If you watch that game, they had 30 points at a half. So
they didn't do anything else after that.
They did not do anything else after that. And
it's a deal of like adjusting, right? Making adjustments. Texas A&M made the adjustments. South Carolina.
I mean, the Carolina people around here are losing their mind after that game because they thought at halftime they were getting ready to knock off a top team, and they celebrated too early. They got ahead of themselves. The fans did too, thinking, "Wow, we are just crushing these guys." And you forget you got 30 more minutes to play. South Carolina possessed the ball 29 minutes, A&M 30 minutes. A&M's 30 minutes ended up being better than South Carolina's 30 minutes. And not to get too much into that game as we go to the Clemson game, but the dichotomy is everybody is calling for Beamer to be gone now.
Really?
Around here,
3-7, dude.
They're already. I mean, they've gone so far as to start putting out the comparisons to Muschamp, which was an absolute dumpster fire hire from the beginning. But they're saying basically, I mean, 2 years ago they thought, okay, Beamer's on the way. I even thought it. I mean, he's got something good going on here, and it went downhill fast. It went downhill like that game. It just was like, okay, he was building something, and now it's like, oh, he's never going to be able to do anything here. They have turned on him like rabid dogs. And by comparison, Clemson wins by 1 point in their game, and we are thankful for the escape. we are like, all right, we got, just like you were giving me grief last week about, really, you think you're gonna, beating Furman, you're gonna beat the playoff, or not the playoff, make a bowl game. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna make a bowl game, and you're like, I don't know. All everybody could talk about right now is, okay, all Clemson's got to do is beat Furman and we're bowl eligible. It's like, we don't even have to beat South Carolina now. We have to beat Furman and we're bowl eligible. But if we win both games, suddenly we're 7-5, and it's like, okay, we salvaged something out of this year.
Yeah.
So it's like our 1 point win is like 180-degree story from what South Carolina's 1 point loss is.
100%. Like, I'll eat crow here on this one because I honestly did not, and like I said, I'll admit it, I did not think that that Clemson was going to win against Louisville. Louisville was the ranked team. Clemson was not. Clemson was on its way down and everything. And I'll say it, again, Louisville was dominating the 3/4 of that game.
We had no business winning this game. We absolutely did, and I'll admit that. We actually, I'll even go so far as to say, technically, we didn't even win this game. Louisville lost this game. Louisville blew this game.
Correct.
It all. I mean, the 1 point difference technically is the missed extra point that they had. So, they had 2 missed field goals. The first,
and you think about that right there. Like, let's say that that one field goal, the extra point is made. Now we're talking about overtime.
Right.
And that could have been a whole totally different overtime. Like, we could have been talking about a whole different situation at that point, right? Like, I mean, we let's call it by what it is, right?
Yeah.
And then Louisville could have gotten their together, but it didn't. But again, kudos to Clemson. I'll give kudos when it's due, right? Clemson did their thing. Whether or not they won it or they escaped with win. When you
I'll give you the stats. So they didn't really do their thing. not to cut you off or poo poo what you're saying, because they did enough to win, but they basically did enough to put themselves in a position for Louisville to blow it and they win.
Patrick, you're killing me, dude.
Oh, I know. We'll get into that one definitely on Tuesday night. This comment from Patrick. Why do we even have kicking?
Right. Tune in on Tuesday night for this one. However, there's a little bit of background. We have a friend of ours who absolutely absolutely detests the kicking game. Like, absolutely hates the field goal or the extra point. Just absolutely gets rid. And we get these text messages, in the chat. It's like, get rid of the kicking game in all caps. And I'm like, I think it's hilarious.
It's absolutely hilarious because his team won by the kicking game. So
By the
this
ca-
week, the NFL team did.
yeah. And as someone whose team lost this weekend, I still would say we've lost more games by kicking game than anything. The kicking game is truly an important part of the football game, guys.
Absolutely.
Whether college or pro, you can't get rid of the kicking games. You just cannot. All
No,
right, so slow your roll. Like, I mean, we're making 60+ yard kicks now. Come on now. Like, I mean, how exciting is that? I was like, are you kidding me? We're about to make they're about to attempt a 61 yard field goal. That's insanity.
yeah, and yeah. So,
But getting back to Clemson,
yeah. So, and as Phil says here, we're looking ahead to Furman. Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, um, they even brought in after the missed extra point and the first missed field goal, they brought in their kicker that their long kicker to
Mhm.
try the next field goal. They're like, okay, we're going to go with a different leg because he can kick a little bit longer. It was a 40-something yard field goal, and he missed it. I mean, he hooked the mess out of that ball. And so thankfully that led to our win. But just a little bit on the stats. I mean, they total yards. We had 308. They had
Klubnik,
385.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
Klubnik was 22 of 34 for 187 yards, which, okay. Their passing was 29 for 214. But, I mean, we had 121 yards rushing. Randall had 105 of those, had a good 25-yard scamper up the middle for a touchdown at one point. Both teams actually had the same amount of rushes, 30 rushes. They had 171 to our 121. This is the other difference. Outside of the kicking game, we had 3 penalties for 30 yards. They had 10 penalties for 84 yards.
You can't get rid
Penalties and
of
missed
that,
field goals
dude.
will get you every time. You
Come on,
cannot.
man. You cannot get that many penalties and expect to win a game.
No. I mean,
That's no discipline. That's lack of discipline right there.
lack of discipline. Yeah, Klubnik, I mean, he had a below average day. It just kind of, again, I hate to say they did enough to win. They did enough to be in
Escape.
position to win. They just got lucky that Louisville screwed it up.
Let me ask you this. You watch more Clemson games than I do. That's a given, right? Um, Tell me about Klubnik because I'm having Klubnik was supposed to be one of the Heisman favorites. He was supposed to be a good quarterback starting, and to me, he has not been that impressive all year.
Um,
He's been more of a he's good. I don't think he's gonna be like really really good.
No, I'm not gonna get on my soapbox about this one because you know where I'm getting ready to go with this.
I
But
know.
him and DJ are unfortunate products
Oh,
of.
oh, oh, oh. We did win because of kicking. We made one of the extra points and 0 field goals. Look at him. Yeah, he's watching. Go ahead. Go ahead. We're gonna give him shit. I'm gonna give you so much. Just you wait.
Oh yeah.
Just you wait. Love you, Eric. You're my boy. You're my
One
boy.
word, one word on Klubnik and DJ.
Yeah.
Garrett Riley. Just say Riley. I said one word. Garrett Riley is garbage. OC. He. I saw. I think I don't remember if I shared it or not, but I saw a reel from a guy that does another podcast in the area on Clemson sports, who basically, I know it's more of a parody or joke video
Yeah.
that he put out the other day, but he's like, have y'all seen that play sheet that Garrett Riley has, that little scratch pad of a call sheet compared to these big, Waffle House menus that most coaches have? He's got
Mhm.
this little trifold pamphlet looking thing, and the guy's like, he's got 12 plays on there, and 10 of them are screen passes. One of them's a run up the middle, and one of them is a defensive player as running back. He's like, those are his 12 plays. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you could count on Clemson to probably throw 15 or 20 screens.
Yikes.
I'm like, dude, why? and this is one thing, we'll get to the Panthers game in a little bit, but one of the things that I loved that the Panthers did, although they did it on fourth down and late in the game, um, I think it was late in the game. They needed 4 yards. They went for it on 4th and 4, and they threw a 7-yard pass. How hard is that? You just like snap, step, boom,
A
step,
lot harder
boom.
than you think.
It's
Okay.
like, why do y'all not just throw these passes until somebody stops you over the middle? Like, all you got to do, if a wide receiver is set up, he takes 3 steps and turns in towards the middle and has the defender behind him, and you're hitting him with the ball. How hard is that to do? I don't get these bubble screens that they set up. They hardly ever work. Everything just goes straight down the line and out of bounds. Garrett Riley has no creativity. He
None.
has, and it's not all just him. I mean, Klubnik is not the product he was. I mean, a 5-star high school recruit. He won multiple high school championships out of Texas, which is a huge accomplishment in Texas. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to translate to being, the next Watson or Lawrence or whatever, but he should have been. He just had bad coaching. He's had bad coaching and bad play calling his entire career at Clemson.
I'll give you that part. Like, bad coaching, yes, but at the same time, like at the same on the same token, you're a quarterback in a Division One school, right? You should be able to be making some of these plays that you're not making.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it goes both ways. And I don't disagree with you that your OC is absolute hot garbage. I just think that at the same time, we need to give a little bit of, you're like, hey, bro, you're a D1 school quarterback. Like, you act like it.
Yeah, he overthrows people and underthrows people like crazy too. His accuracy is not great, which is weird because
That's what he's known for.
it's what he's known for. I mean, and he has those flashes of it. That's what's crazy is there are so many flashes. You'll sit there and watch him drop a dime in a bucket at 40 yards downfield. And you're like, how in the world did he drop that pass in right there where our guy could catch it on the run? And then he'll turn around and overthrow a guy, 3 yards over his head.
That's a good question. I'm gonna let you answer it.
He does not get drafted.
I think he's a
I know that was a quick response. He potentially could get drafted, but it would be very late. I doubt he gets drafted.
That's what I was just gonna say. I think he does get drafted, but I think he's gonna be late rounds. And the reason for that is because these NFL teams are so hungry for a quarterback right now. I mean, look at my team, like the Cleveland Browns. Like, we need a quarterback. Yesterday's game was absolutely atrocious for Shedeur Sanders. Granted, I think that's more of an indictment on the coaching stuff because they have not been giving him that many reps because they've been giving the vast majority of it to Dylan Gabriel, who needed it. And the only reason why Shedeur came on to play was because Dylan Gabriel got injured.
Yeah.
Head injury, from what I understand. Right. So I'm not happy about the whole situation. But my point is, every NFL team is so hungry to grab a quarterback that they might be looking at it. They'll put him on their draft board and be like, hey, let's see if he drops. And if he drops and we are able to say we're comfortable drafting him at this position in this round, then we'll take him. Otherwise, we're good passing.
Yeah, I mean, he has the skills. He has most of the skills to play the position really well. Maybe the scouts and they do well at this most times, especially with late round quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They see that a lot of his lack of success is not his skill. Put it that way. It has to do with coaching. I think a lot of them see what he can do when he has those flashes and realize, okay, we get this kid in, we get some better coaching. He could be something. So I'm with you there. That he probably does get drafted, and I mean, heck, he's better than Shedeur Sanders in a lot of ways.
Oh, I agree.
Sanders, everybody was shocked that he dropped to 5th round. I'm not necessarily shocked that he dropped to the 5th round. He was only only getting the hype because of who his dad is. He's not a bad quarterback, but all these people calling for him to play, the last month and a half are like, be careful what you ask for, because I don't think he's ready to play. He wasn't that good in college. He was hyped up a lot, but he didn't really have the best skills. And I mean, if I had Travis Hunter, I could probably throw pretty good too. So, it's a whole different thing.
So I see. Here's my thing. Like I as a fan, like I listen to a lot of stuff, but I was thinking that he was going to come in the last 4 games. This is his lost season for the Browns, and I've already said this. Like I'm not making any excuses, or I'm not pissed off. Why? Because I already knew this was going to be a lost season. I think this was a coordinated tank job from the very get-go. Like, I mean, it's
Right.
what it is. Like you got rid of 2 starting quarterbacks. Well, one of them was a starting quarterback, but I'm talking about veteran quarterbacks, right? You send one to Oakland who hasn't started, and then the other one you send them down the road down to the Cincinnati, which you've never made any trade with that team before, and this is the first time you make it, right? So you knew right off the bat that the tank job full effect, right? And look what he's doing with Cincinnati right now. I'm talking about Joe Flacco, right? Joe Flacco is a starting quarterback right now, for the Cincinnati Bengals, and so. Right, as soon as you did that and you put a rookie quarterback at like Dylan Gabriel, which you did not pick in the first 3
Rounds.
rounds. Thank you. You knew right away. You knew
Yeah.
right away that this is a tank job. So I was like, whatever. So hopefully Klubnik, does better. He does still have a couple more games to show what he has. He's what, sophomore, junior?
He is actually, he might be technically a senior now. I have to look and see. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Mhm.
He's a junior, but he might. No, he's got one more year left. He can
One more
come
year.
back.
No,
Yeah,
he's
he's
actually a
junior.
senior.
I
He's
think he's listed as a senior, but I think playing wise, he has one more year of eligibility.
I got you. Okay.
Because I know one of my friends was saying that the best thing that could happen for him
Just to
is
go back.
is for him to come back, to keep, just get the, because one, like you said, if he does get drafted, he's not going to get drafted very high. He'll make more money staying in college and playing one more year, and possibly if they can bring in another offensive coordinator,
Right.
maybe he can show, hey, it wasn't me, it was the coaching.
I appreciate
So
the question, though, Patrick. That's a really good question.
yeah, absolutely. And so personally, I would rather have him back, because I don't think we got anybody behind him right now worth anything, or we would be seeing them play every once in a while.
Do you get someone in the
I hope
transfer
we do.
portal?
I mean, I think that's not off the table. I know Dabo gets crap about not doing the portal very well.
Or at all?
Well, he's used it each year. He just used it very, 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 very selectively, and not for a lot of high profile guys. Although our best defensive guy, or one of our best defensive guys, we got through the portal. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for him to say, I got to go get a 1-year quarterback. He just doesn't like 1-year guys, and I get it. That's just the way he is, and it is what it is. And I'm not going to poo poo on that, because I still think he's a good coach. I just think he needs to make some changes, and he needs to make some better decisions quicker on some of these changes when they're not going well. Hopefully Riley will be one of those changes, along with a lot of the position coaches that are nepotism hires, in my opinion, bringing back former players and stuff. So, anyway, so we'll see what happens with that. I'd love to have him back at quarterback next year. Get him some NIL money, and see if we can scrape out a 7-5 season, and then turn it around next year and get into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know where Ed went, but apparently it must be his computer acting up again. I thought it was me for a second, so that's why I started to hesitate on talking here. I guess we'll get into a little bit more of the other football in college here real quick. Furman, they let me see here. I'm trying to pull stuff up. I had it in the wrong spot. So try to kill a little bit of time here, mumbling for Ed to get back on. Let's see here. Well, South Carolina State started out the week in the FCS for South Carolina, North Carolina schools pretty good because they let's see here, get the right week in front of me. Sorry, South Carolina State over North Carolina Central up in Ed's area. They're in Durham, Raleigh area, 34-27 on Friday night. South Carolina State's 8-3 and 4-0 in the MEAC, so they're making a pretty good MEAC run. Hopefully, they can do something with that and continue a pretty good season that they've got going on. Bulldogs haven't had a lot of great seasons for a while, but they're doing good right now. Furman, they played VMI, so they should win that game.
We had a power surge.
Oh, you had a power surge? Yeah, and I can see it's daylight behind you too now.
We had a power surge here, and it took out the internet.
Oh, man.
So that was fun.
I was like, for a second, I saw you freeze, and I didn't know if it was my computer. Because
It wasn't you.
sometimes when it's me, I keep
Yeah.
talking and don't realize I'm the one that's frozen, not you guys.
It wasn't me. I promise you, it was me. It was not you. It was. We had I felt it we had a surge, and all of a sudden everything flickered, and then it took out the internet. So
Wow.
we'll see.
Well, I stumbled along, stumbled and bumbled. If you go back and watch, you'll see this kind of like, ooh, okay, what do I do now? But
Yeah.
let me
This is
circle.
good training. Good training.
Exactly. Well, let me circle back real quick to
Okay.
Terry's question because I was jumping onto the FCS teams real quick. I do think Dabo still relates with recruits, and I think his personality and message is not lost on the kids. I think the narrative out in, as Ed's showing, I think the narrative doesn't fit the internal. I think the kids that he has come in, he brings them in because they fit what he wants to do. I don't think he will pass on a kid if their background or their just if they don't fit his expectations of what a team player is. He doesn't get the me first guys mostly. Now some of them get in and they become some of that. I think the problem is not necessarily that the message is missing with the kids, but I think that the kids that he's bringing in aren't necessarily the kids that help you be successful, if that makes any sense. Because a lot of the kids that are me first are probably me first because they are super talented, and he's trying to toe that line between, yeah, he's a great talent, but I don't need that personality. I don't need that attitude on my team.
Wait, see, I'm gonna push back on you, okay? But that just speaks to leadership that he is not unable to coach a player like that. Okay, so what I'm saying is I want players that I can control, that I can have in my program that are able to follow what I am telling them to do. So in my opinion, I think he's unable to just switch that, depending on that player. I think that in my opinion, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I don't know if he's past his prime. I just think that unlike a lot of coaches this year, I think their messaging is already getting lost in some of those players, and they're already checked out. Some of these players that he has on this team, they're checked out for this year, just because of the way that there was so much high expectation, and then all of a sudden that expectation is no longer there because they're not there.
And again, I don't know. I'm not there, but I try to slice through what is in the media and not excuse me, not to get on my not to get on my soapbox, but sure. I think the players are checked out not necessarily because of Dabo, but because of their position coaches and their coordinators. I think they are more of the issue for a lot of that. Not all of it, but a lot of it has to do with. I mean, if you're a player and the play calling is just like, dude, what are we doing? We keep calling these stupid plays. I mean, that's on Dabo in that he's brought in the
I
coaches
was
that he's
just gonna say,
brought
isn't
in.
that an indictment on him as a
It
leader, as a head coach of a football program?
it is, and it's one of those things, and you can tell he's frustrated, but he's not frustrated to the point of being like, I'm getting rid of you mid-season. And maybe he needs to be. Maybe, 3 or 4 games ago, he should have been like, you know what, you're
Mhm.
out. We're going to try something different.
Right.
I don't, but at the same time, he's also not one to cut his own throat and say, we're going to make this change and give up on the season, because that's the one thing he preaches, that the kids keep fighting to the end, win or lose. They're always fighting hard and playing hard, and they do. You see that despite a lot of the mistakes. So I think he's more of an off-season changes kind of guy, always has been in all of his years.
Yeah.
Um, and like I keep telling my friend Bart, who's like, fire Dabo, fire Dabo. I'm like, dude, he's not the one to be fired. And one, he's earned a season like this. I mean, he's done enough in the past. To me, I think any coach has. It'd be like Saban. If Saban was having the exact same season Clemson's having at Alabama, they wouldn't be fire Saban. They would be losing their mind over he needs to fire some other people,
I know, I'm
but
not disagreeing
they
with
wouldn't be
you
fire
there.
him. But right now it's like fire Dabo. I'm like, no, Dabo. Now, if next season, if he doesn't make the changes and he does this again next season, that's a whole different scenario for me.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that he's at the very least, because of the success of the program, that he has earned this one bad season. If next season he starts in a way in which, hopefully he doesn't, then we're having a different conversation at that point. However, and I'll keep saying this, it is an indictment on, an indictment on his leadership as the leader of that program, that if you're telling me that it is on a defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator and special teams, he's the one that's leading that. He's the one whose messages that he is putting that for them to follow. So I say that I think is Dabo is just as culpable as anybody else because of the messaging getting lost, because he is the leader of that program. Again, I don't disagree with you that
Yeah.
he is not. I don't think he's going to get fired this year. I think he's earned his one off year, but I also think at the same time that, like, all right, bro, listen, 2 years in a row, that can't happen. Not at Clemson.
No, not you're right. Not at Clemson. Not with what you have built.
Exactly. And
And again,
yes, he will
he
go somewhere else and he
he
will be successful.
right. He and he'll what he's going to do is, if we win the next 2 games, we finish 7-5. We go to a bowl game. We win that bowl game, which likely it'll be a lesser bowl and a good chance to win it. If he
Mhm.
ends up 8-5, he will flip that to, look, hey, we're 3 games over 500. I mean, he will spin the positivity out of that
Yeah.
like a washing machine spinning water. I mean, he will send that message out there. It's like, look, it was a bad season. We made some mistakes. The question is, okay, what are you going to do about it? I mean,
Do something.
exactly. And that I will be the first to say, if he brings back Garrett Riley, I will start off with, we're done. And he'll
Fire
have to
this
prove
dude.
exactly. He's done. If he can't get rid of Riley and bring somebody else in, it's like, all right, that's mistake
Mhm.
number 1 right there.
Right,
That,
right,
to
right.
me, he's not going to fire the defensive coordinator. He just brought him in. His one season. He's not going to be a one and done. He's going to give him a chance, although our defense is atrocious. And that goes back to the comments I think I made last week, is like, you got to work with what you got. If you can't put your system in place with who you've got, then you got to change your system, because you can't just change who you have already. So
Mhm.
hopefully they'll, whatever, I don't know what system he's trying to run, because he's got a hell of a lot of good defensive guys. We got some of the best linebackers in the country, and they're being wasted on whatever scheme he's trying to do. And I don't understand, as a defensive player, your only mission is to get to where the ball is. So regardless of what he calls, you got to play to the ball. So,
Yeah. No, I
and,
agree.
um,
Because
well,
we've been talking way too much Clemson. Also, by the way, North Carolina, not a good showing on North Carolina, by the way. Oof.
Yeah, exactly. And to finish the Clemson thing on
Yeah.
Terry's point here, real quick, he just said his opinion is Dabo's staff aren't the quality recruiters they once were. I'll give him that. Jeff Scott was our best recruiter. He left to go be a head coach. He is back in the program, but not in a totally official capacity. He's one of those, you know, what I don't even know what you call it, but it's like a reclamation coach. He's an advisor
Yeah.
type coach. He needs to be in some way. He needs to be co-offensive coordinator or somehow. And heck, make him the offensive coordinator. I would love him to be the offensive coordinator because we were better offensively when he was there. Him and Tony Scott, uh, co doing that. But he would not Tony Scott. Tony Elliott and Jeff Scott were co-offensive coordinators, and Tony Elliott was the conservative guy to Jeff's aggressiveness, and it worked. So anyway, and Jeff Scott was our absolute great recruiter. He's the one that recruited C.J. Spiller and lots of the guys that won those championships.
Terry, I'm you and me are right here. You know what I mean? Donnie will still, bleed and die with his
Voice
Clemson.
of reason. I'll be the voice of reason.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Sure. Let's go with that. Right. I'm the outside. I'm from the outside looking in. You're that's your school and everything. And I get that. Like, listen, I understand that. I just think that I'm with him as like it's all he's always been talking about past success. Lately, he's been talking about past success, past success. This is no longer as what have you done for me in the past?
Yeah.
Is what are you doing for me now? Prime example is Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick kept living in the past, kept living in the past. He didn't do anything past Tom Brady, post Tom Brady, and look what happened to him.
Yep.
And so,
Absolutely.
and I don't want Dabo to be the one that this is going to happen to because he is unable to pivot from what he has been doing. Again, we're talking about someone who's going to more likely get a shot at another year, right? Because if I'm Clemson, also I'm not firing anybody this year. There's been so many coaches being fired that like this is not the year for you to fire a coach. Like I
Right.
think we've hit our limit of how many coaches will get fired this year. I think some more will get fired, but I think, in my opinion, we've hit our limit, right? So he's earned that.
Yeah, and I mean, who you going to get that's better?
He's
So
he's
anyway,
living with someone. Never mind. Never mind. All right, let me go over really quick a couple of scores here for North Carolina. NC State.
that
They're
was
gonna
bad.
they need to get rid of their head coach there. Me talking about the limit, I'm sorry. Get rid of this dude.
Yeah.
Horrible. I mean, this is a bad job. You lost to Miami 41-7, and Miami he hasn't, I expected for NC State to be a lot more competitive than they were, and they weren't.
They weren't. That's the thing. They were not competitive at all in that game. Miami has been bad the last couple of weeks as well. They've kind of fallen off.
Yep.
And they still whooped NC State.
Exactly. Virginia Duke, we were talking about, Duke, all right, they're doing their thing. Now they're 5-5 because they lost to a really good Virginia team, but they couldn't get anything done. They finally got some things working, but it was a little too late kind of situation, right?
Yep.
North Carolina went against Wake Forest, and Wake Forest is not a bad football program.
They're 7-3 right now, so they've been playing pretty well. So
exactly. So congratulations. Again, Bill has earned himself another year. I think this is the first year. You got to give. Let me ask you this, in your opinion, and I'll put it on the comments, guys. If you have a brand new head coach coming in, how many years do you give him to build that program? Do you give him 1? Do you give him 2? I say the magic number is 3, in my opinion.
I agree. I was going to say before you said that, I was going to say 3. You got to give a guy at least 3 years to show some progress. It doesn't even have to be, record wise that you went from this to this. I mean, as long as you're flipping it from like North Carolina, they're 4-6 right now. If next year this same exact time they're 6-4 and they're at least competitive, that's the thing. You got to be competitive.
I agree.
And you've got to be moving forward. And you've got to win the games you should win and hopefully win one or two that you shouldn't. As long as those things are happening, then you're in the right direction. But in this day and age, with the players changing teams year to year, 3 years is probably, it used to be you got to give a coach 5 years. Well, that's because you needed to get a full recruiting cycle.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Now,
Right.
now you're recruiting / portal. It's not even recruiting as much as it is transfer, which I guess there's some recruiting involved in that, but it's not even really recruiting. It's like, what you going to pay me?
Exactly. And Patrick, I think that if I'm Bill, I'm staying in UNC. I'm sorry. Just stay away from the pros right now. Just at the very least, stay one more year. You know what I mean? Me, it's like, listen, I committed to UNC. This is where I want to be. This is where I need to be. I'm committing to that.
Yeah. And he's got 2 things he needs to do moving forward is tell Jordan to stay away from the football field. Like, you girl, go sit up in the box,
Go
stay
away,
away.
girl.
Don't I'll see you when I get home. And you don't need to be all up in everybody's business.
It's
You
just go
got
away.
to change that.
I
And
agree with you there.
and then
110%.
he's got to look at what he's got, get rid of what he doesn't need, and find some people that'll come in. The problem with Bill is he's, like you said, he's not the same Bill that everybody thought he was with Tom Brady, because he didn't do anything after Tom left. Talk about a disconnect for players, Dabo.
Oh yeah.
People aren't flocking to North Carolina because they want to play with Bill Belichick. They're going away from North Carolina because they don't want to play for Bill Belichick. They don't want to deal with that, and they don't want to deal with the attitude and the gruffness that he has. That's somebody that hasn't changed who he is and never will change who he is. And NFL teams are not going to bring him in too, because they're not going to want the baggage that he brings. In fact, I even heard somebody say that the Giants didn't. They would only want Bill if Bill came in just to coach. They don't want Lombardi coming with him, because apparently Lombardi's his right hand man as far as helping him with players and stuff. They just want Bill to coach, and that's it. So
100%, Patrick.
he absolutely is. He's. I mean, that's like Parcells. Once Parcells got to a certain point, he was a poison for a team, because nobody wanted to play for him. They didn't want to put up with his mess and his old school ways. And like I said, Bill ran a tight ship in New England until he didn't. And I think the only reason players came to New England was for Tom Brady, not for Bill Belichick.
We'll see again. We'll see next year how this goes. If there's anything as far as like any new recruits or anything like that coming in, or any transfer portals, it's still to be determined. Really good talk on our college football here, man. But let's move on to our football team here in Charlotte, our professional football team, the Carolina Panthers, busting out a win in overtime. Listen, Atlanta came out hot, and they were ahead for the majority of this game, and Carolina did their thing. Listen, both of us have been super critics of Bryce Young. Super critics.
And for 3 quarters, I was like, "Oh God, this guy's killing me."
Super critics, right?
Because he wasn't.
Yeah, he got injured. He went out. You know what I mean? For a couple injuries, whatever. He came back, and then I did see him walking into the podium at the end of the game. The dude was like limping all over the place. So he definitely had a leg injury, right? For sure, has a leg injury.
Yeah.
This is his numbers: 31 out of 45, 448 yards. He averaged 10 yards per throw, 3 touchdowns. He was sacked 5 times. So on that offensive line, right? And his rating was 123.2.
Right. I mean, he was. I think I said this in the third quarter. I'm like, he's not going to win you any games, and he's not going to lose you any games. He's just going to be like, blah. Like, he's not really doing anything either way. And he changed that a little bit. Fourth quarter and overtime, definitely. He got them back in that game, and in overtime, he won them that game, just by moving the ball like he moved it. I mean, I can tell it's funny. Fantasy numbers don't really mean anything, but they can tell you if somebody had a pretty good day. Because I mean, I didn't play him because I was like, "There's no way I'm putting Bryce Young in on my fantasy team," and I got 50 points sitting on my bench because of what he did. So, I mean, he's like, okay, he had a good week based on that. I mean, that
Oof.
shows individual talent. And you can have 50 points and still lose a game, which, I mean, again, this was a close game. The thing with Bryce was he, like you said, I think he was playing a little bit injured. He got banged around a little bit, and they just weren't moving the ball for a while. The running game, which was their staple early in the season,
Mhm.
has not carried them at all the last few games. People have shut Dowdle down. Hubbard still hasn't gotten many of the carries, which he shouldn't, because Dowdle's a much better running back in my opinion. But the running game is non-existent. I mean, we had 67 yards rushing. I think that's 2 weeks in a row collectively that we've had less than 100 yards running.
Dude, I 100% forgot that Trevor Etienne was on this team.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty much just a return guy. And he's had moments in games where you're like, "Oh crap, he can actually run." But
Right.
they don't give him the ball a whole lot.
Don't you? I mean, yeah, because you have, Rick O'Donnell, as your
Yeah,
starting quarterback. Then you got Chuba Hubbard, who got a nice little payday last year because of what he was able to do, right?
exactly. So I mean, you're third man on a totem pole that is dominated by Rico Dowdle.
Jesus.
But then you look at the receivers. I mean, McMillan went off finally again. I mean, 130 yards on 8 catches, 2
2 touchdowns,
touchdowns.
yeah.
And Leggett had some nice catches. I mean, he had 4 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown, and that touchdown was legit, man. He got in there, nice just play on that for
Yeah.
him to get that touchdown. So I mean, I'll give Bryce Young, I mean, a little bit of credit. He got them in there, and then when it got to be overtime,
This is not the week
he moved them quick.
right, this is not the week to bash, Bryce Young. I'll say that. Like, I'll say that to this week, we're not bashing it because right now he got that team to a win. They're half a game back of first place Tampa, which is amazing, right? We both believe in what the Carolina Panthers are building here. They are
Yeah.
building a good system. Now, they have some good running backs. I'm good there, right? Right now you have one really good, solid wide receiver. I think going into next year, into the draft, we're like, we need to get another wide receiver,
Absolutely.
and very important, you need to solidify that offensive line.
Yeah,
I
definitely, because
I
they're
wouldn't.
killing him.
Right, I would not go into this draft looking for a quarterback without solidifying that offensive line because that offensive line is absolutely shaky
Yeah.
at best.
I don't even know if there's a quarterback that I
That you
would
want to go
draft.
for.
Yeah, there's not a quarterback that I would draft right now that's better than Bryce Young. Um, I think, like you said, I think if you get one more receiver and you can build a better offensive line, need to do a few things better on defense. So I think if you could shore those pieces up, you could probably get by one more year with Bryce Young. I hate to say
Yeah,
it.
I think Bryce Young is gonna be the starter for, for the foreseeable, and I wouldn't get another quarterback until you really work on that offensive line. Once you get that offensive line really get ready to go, okay, now we're talking, okay, all right, let's go look at what kind of quarterback do we need to get over at free agency or at drafting.
Yeah, I mean,
Move up in the draft.
if anything, you draft if you did draft a quarterback, I would draft one late I would draft them as a backup because you've got to have somebody better than Andy Dalton. He's past his
Oh,
prime. He is so bad,
so
so bad.
bad, dude.
I
Jesus
mean,
Christ, he came in and you're like, "Oh, there's the game."
I would
I
draft
almost
somebody
swore because
that's
that's what
not
I wanted to say.
seen as a threat to Bryce Young immediately, not like, oh, put this guy in kind of guy, but somebody that's in college that's like, okay, that guy might take a little work. Let's get him in and see if we can turn him into anything and at least make him a decent backup to
Yeah.
Bryce Young. That's kind of how I would approach that. Give Bryce Young at least um, somebody you can at least play if he gets hurt that's not going to kill you.
You
But
know there might be a quarterback available at the end of the season. He's about the same stature as him. over in
Yeah.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know about that, but because the thing is
no, I'm with you there.
that would be one of those things where it's like, oh, he's coming in to take Bryce's job, and I don't want that at all because I don't think he's a good quarterback at all.
Well, we both know that he's going to get Arizona's going to move on from.
They have to, yeah. They've got to realize that that's done deal right there.
So, guys, great talk. Again, every week, man. We just we keep doing this. I do apologize for the surge that happened in my house, and then all of a sudden I lost internet. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I was like, because we were having a good conversation on Clemson. That was
Yeah.
really good. And I got to miss it for a couple of minutes there. So I do apologize there. Make sure you guys are following us. Later on tonight, we're going to have Break Even Sports. That is the two of us here, as well as Mr. Patrick Larson, MLB Head History, and the producer himself, Virgil Brooks. So you make sure we will be looking at the FCS football, some soccer. There is, we are on a break, but there have been some international games that have been going on, some qualifiers that definitely Donnie and I will be sitting and listening as they have that conversation.
Yeah, don't sleep on the Democratic Republic of Congo.
I sent the link the other day about that.
There's some good international World Cup qualifiers going on right now. So
you know what, Terry, 100%. Have a great day or not. It's absolutely your choice. And then we will see you go firm and shock the world. We will see you guys on Tuesday and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time on the DAC Sports Show. That's when we will break down everything is NFL, NBA, MLB, everything, all of that. So thank you guys for watching us. Make sure you guys are following us, and we'll see you guys on Monday morning yet again. Have a good one, guys.
Later.